Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Donna Villa coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. The year 2021 has been pretty good for pro-lifers in the United States as 90 abortion restrictions were enacted in different states. A study conducted by the Guttmacher Institute has revealed that 2021 has so far witnessed the maximum number of abortion curbs enacted since the U.S. Supreme Court legalized abortion in 1973 with Roe v. Wade. However, the pro-life approach adopted by several states has not gone well with the Institute, which supports abortion. It has blamed the fetal heartbeat law of Texas for having a, quote, uniquely cruel twist, end quote, because it allows people to sue an abortion provider or someone who helps the woman who wants to undergo the procedure. The Institute has also expressed concern over the U.S. Supreme Court agreeing to hear a Mississippi case that could weaken Roe v. Wade. Despite the opposition of the Holy See, a controversial anti-homophobia legislation in Italy has overcome two major hurdles in the Senate, and there are indications that it could be passed as a law next week. On Tuesday, July 13th, senators voted 136 to 124 with 4 abstentions. The contentious DDL-ZAN bill seeks greater penalties for discrimination based on sexual orientation. During the debate in the Senate, right-wing politicians asked for modifications, while leftist parties argued that voting should proceed as planned. Using a formal diplomatic communication to the Italian government, the Vatican objected to the bill 3 weeks ago, citing concerns that it could criminalize church teaching on marriage and the family. Lawmakers can submit amendments until July 20th, and these will be put to a vote before the actual vote on the bill itself. An organization representing medical colleges in Spain has objected to a minister's threat to conscientious objection on abortion. Equality Minister Irene Montero has declared on July 8th that the right of physicians to conscientious objection cannot be above the right of a woman to have an abortion. The General Council of Official Medical Colleges, which represents 52 medical colleges, issued a statement on Monday, July 12th, defending the right of the doctors to conscientious objection. The organization said forcing the conscience of doctors in a bid to expand the number of physicians available in all communities is unconstitutional and unjust. In Spain, where abortion was legalized in 1985, doctors must declare in advance that they are objecting to abortion or euthanasia as per their conscience. Jeannie Mancini, president of the March for Life Education and Defense Fund and the organizer of the annual March for Life rally in Washington, D.C., has been chosen for the John Paul II New Evangelization Award. Instituted Washington-based Catholic Information Center, the award is given to individuals for their exemplary role in evangelization as envisaged by Pope St. John Paul II. Mancini was chosen for this year's award for her devoted leadership and public engagement in pro-life activities. Her activities to promote the protection of life from the womb to the tomb has inspired many. Mancini's nonprofit organization aims to restore a culture of life in the United States. Catholic Information Center is an organization that is committed to familiarizing the church to men and women in the U.S. Capitol. Members of the Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference have expressed concern over the rising unrest in the country that began last week after former President Jacob Zuma was imprisoned. So far, 72 people have died in the riots, and to keep the situation under control, police and military have used stun grenades and rubber bullets. The rioting and rampant looting ensued following Zuma's 15-month jail sentencing for contempt of court due to failure to appear in court for a corruption inquiry. In many parts of the country, the uprisings have turned into conflicts with police. The bishops appealed to the people to exercise restraint. Head of the Episcopal Conference, Bishop si Tembele Sipuka of Imtata Diocese urged citizens not to allow the difference of opinions on political matters to incite criminal intentions by creating unrest. The law and order situation in Afghanistan has worsened, with the Taliban overrunning vast swaths of territories following the withdrawal of foreign troops. The United Nations Refugee Agency has warned of a growing humanitarian crisis in the country as violence and extortion by armed outfits, including the Taliban, have forced 270,000 people to flee their homes since January. United Nations reports say that there have been a 29% rise in civilian casualties, mostly women and children, in the first quarter of this year. The total number of internally displaced people has reached 3.5 million. The failure of the Afghan government to reach a truce with the Taliban is likely to aggravate the crisis. As Cuba witnesses nationwide protests by civilians seeking fundamental human rights and uninterrupted supply of food and medicine, the Cuban American bishops have issued a statement expressing support. Archbishop Nelson Perez of Philadelphia, Bishop Felipe Esteves of St. Augustine, Bishop Manuel Cruz of Newark, and Monsignor Octavio Cisneros, Auxiliary Bishop of Emeritus of Brooklyn, have expressed solidarity with the Cuban people. Marking their opposition to the government's aggressive reaction, the bishop said that the people have the right to make their voices heard. In the statement dated July 13th, the bishop said that the government's oppression seems to negate the basic Cuban principle of having a, quote, homeland with all and for the good of all, end quote. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.